We have IFBC presenter Mark Lathrop with us. He's also a regular contributor here on SBR Picks. Mark, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, Drew.
Good. Thanks for joining us. Just wanting to learn a little bit more about you, so when all the visitors come down for IFBC, they can really get a background on you. So wanted to ask you, before sports betting, what was your passion? Did you have a job before you got into sports betting, or even now that you're doing sports betting?
Well, unlike some of the guys on the site, I actually still have my day job. I'm a CFO of a manufacturing company, and I also own a winery and then the winemaker there. So pretty full schedule. And before I got my MBA at Eastern Washington, I actually was a gigging professional French horn player. So I've done a little bit of everything, and the common thread throughout all of it is kind of succeeding with kind of a data analysis background. And it's served me really well, and it's paying me well, and it's a pleasure to bring that to the sports betting world at SBR every day.
Yeah, interesting background, and it sounds like you're successful in multifacets in life. But turning to sports betting, what is your specialty sport? Like, what, speaking of wine, tastes that much better?
I'd say my specialty sport is definitely baseball. I think my philosophy on sports betting is usually finding, those data points that actually infer a repeatable outcome and are predictors. And baseball is probably the best sport for that, just because everything's kind of boiled down to a battery made and a pitcher and a batter. So when we talk about football, there are some of those kinds of data points and trends that we can look at that infer, things that will happen in the future. So I think that's just mainly my approach, my main approach to sports handicapping right now.
That makes sense. I'm a big fan of your articles on SBR Picks. It's almost a daily read for me, so I suggest it to all the watchers out there. Another question for you. What are the 3 pillars of sports betting? Maybe lines that you never try to cross when you're betting sports.
You mean the actual line, or?
Oh, no, like maybe like you don't like to lay it with big favorites, or maybe back-to-back road games in football. You won't bet that team. Do you ever not do certain things in sports betting?
Well, one of your marketology videos, you kind of mentioned that football is something where it's okay to know a lot about a little. And so, I just try not to lay any money on games that I really just don't know about. And, I'm making a decision based on some kind of emotional bias, or because I've just watched the game and I like them, or just have some kind of emotional attachment. So I try to stay away from those games, try to not, bring emotion into it. And I'm a busy guy, so it's kind of easy in baseball. There's just so many games, and you don't get to watch them all, to keep that emotional bias out. But football is a little different because it's on a Saturday or Sunday, and it's easy to watch those games and pick up those emotional biases. So I try to stay away from that as much as possible.
Okay, makes sense. And in your opinion, what do you think sports betting will look like in maybe, say, 5 years or 10 years? How many changes will we have?
Well, I think the writing's on the wall that it's going to be legalized, just because the technology is so great. It's going to be on your phone. There's not going to be borders within states. I mean, they can't keep up with some of the regulations they're trying to put on this industry, and they're missing out on a great piece of the pie which they could have. And I'm talking about government regulators, of course. So I think a lot of that is going to go away. Bitcoin's been a great, kind of spur for that. And so I think it's going to become a lot more mainstream. You're going to hear it on ESPN. You're going to hear it on Fox Sports. So, what we're talking about, our analysts here, are going to be mainstream, is what I see in the future.
And if you had to take bets on it, what would you set the over-under for it being legal outside the state of Nevada?
I'd say it's about 50-50 in 5 years, but in 10 years, I'd say about 90%.
Okay, I like you actually putting out a number. It's tough to get guys to do that sometimes. But and Mark, you're coming down a little early. I know IFBC is August 4th and August 5th, but you're coming down to Costa Rica a little early.
Yeah, I live up in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. It's a beautiful town. But to get down there is about 16 hours, 17 hours of travel time. So if I'm going to do that, there and back, I'm gonna make it worth it and stay a couple days before and after the conference. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Nice. I look forward to meeting you, man. And if some of the viewers of IFBC are down rubbing elbows with you and they want to buy you a drink, what's your drink of choice? Are you a cocktail guy, a beer guy, a wine guy?
Well, I have as much wine as I can drink in my entire lifetime. So you probably don't need to buy me any wine. I'm going to try to bring some down. I don't know what the laws are on that to share with everybody. But I'm a Scotch guy, I guess I would have to say.
Scotch for Mark.
Yeah,
nice,
Scotch
man.
travels well. I don't know what it'll be like in the tropics if I want a Scotch, but give me an aged rum or something, that'll work too.
Yeah, they got some good rum here. Florida Cana is something that I definitely recommend. So, yeah, look forward to meeting you, Mark. And anything else you want the viewers to know about you?
I'm posting all my articles on. They also go up on SBR, but I also add a little color to them on Twitter at @Lathrop3. That's the numeral 3. Always like the banner on Twitter with the late night on campus guys. So it's a good way to just stay connected to us is on Twitter, on social media.
Yeah, Mark's a great follow on Twitter at @Lathrop3. Make sure to give him a follow and look forward to meeting you when you're down here August 2nd, Mark.
You got it, Drew.
All right, thanks for the time, Ed.